Hello, hello. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. I thought about starting the stream a little later because I was watching the Arkansas Razorback football game. But we just threw an interception, so I figured it's probably a good time to turn it off and come stream because it's not looking good as it never usually is. Um, so, but we're gonna come back. We're gonna stream here. We're gonna do something a little different um, than we typically do. We're gonna do some orchestration stuff. If you were here yesterday, I kind of mentioned it. We're going to work on some orchestration for the Note for Note series. So the second video, or I guess the third video in the series in the playlist, but the second video. What am I trying to say? I don't know. We're gonna do the second movement of the Creation Symphony, right? We put up the first movement of the Creation Symphony. That was I guess earlier this week. So if you haven't gone and checked that out, go check that out. I would really appreciate it. It's up on my channel right now. It's the first movement of the Creation Symphony in a kind of read-along score format. So if you're at all interested in that, you can go check that out. Today, we're going to begin the process of getting the second movement ready for notation and putting it onto actual paper. So then we can also throw it up for the video. And we did the same thing for the first movement. I guess it was last Saturday. So we're gonna do that same thing today. Where we're gonna go through. We're gonna clean up a lot of the MIDI, and then start getting it into Dorico, into our notation program. We'll probably have a shorter stream as we usually do on Saturdays. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like the video, share it with your buddies. Go check out this Beacons link right there. It has all my streaming services and social media stuff. So if you want to support the channel that way, feel free to do so, and I do greatly appreciate it. And we're going to jump right on in here. So what we're working with today, this is the second movement. And like we did last Saturday, I'm going to play the movement for you. Let's see, OBS. Let's see if this works. We're gonna listen to the movement, and then we'll get started. Let's see if this is working on OBS here. It is not, of course. So give me a second. I'm gonna change around some things here on OBS. Application, Spotify. Okay, now let's. There we go. Okay. So this is the second movement of the Creation Symphony. We're going to listen to it, follow along with piano roll, and then we will get started. It's a very very sparse and rather simple movement, right? It's there's really not a lot going on here because it's supposed to be kind of this kind of duet between the clarinet and cor anglais. you know, it's very soloist focused. Maybe it's not a duet, but um, it's all about the soloists in this one. So there's not a lot going on, but I still think it's a pretty good piece of music. So let's go ahead and listen to it. We'll follow along. Right. So very, very sparse instrumentation. Um, oh, let me stop this before it makes more noise. Um, but I think it's pretty effective. So we're gonna go through. We're gonna clean up all the MIDI, which is going to have some sort of. It's gonna give us some sort of issue because a lot of these are like almost like flared lines. Lots of grace notes and kind of weird turnaround things. Um, that might not sit perfectly in the grid, so we'll kind of have to kind of interpret what the rhythm was supposed to be, because I can't, obviously can't remember since it's been over a year since I wrote this. But we'll do our best here. And it shouldn't take us too long. We'll see how we get on with it. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's start with the bass drums just because it's going to be easiest. Obviously, bass drums are going to be pretty much on the grid the entire time. Oops, not mean to do that. So we'll just kind of, clean it up like this, note by note. Because these are, just obviously just hits. I do have two different bass drum channels here. And that's mainly just blending the two different sounds together. Because I liked the roll sounds from one of them, but I liked the hits on another one. So, it's just cleaning it up, making sure it's all nice and quantized here. Shouldn't be an issue. I'm just making the notes just kind of a uniform length so that way it's a little easier to work with when we put it into notation. Because the hits necessarily, the MIDI length of the note doesn't necessarily matter on the hits. But the length of the MIDI note is what's going to be translated into the notation software. And I'll have to end up changing that anyways, so I just want to kind of do it ahead of time here. Bass drums are done. Easy. We'll go down to the bass longs here because that's just a bunch of long notes. I want to make sure everything's nice and neat and on the grid. And then we will put it, do that. Let's make sure these are the same length here. All right. That's easy enough. These cellos are also, the same. A lot of this is very similar to what we did on last week on the first movement, where some of these notes, with the overlap and everything. Will get cut off at different points. I just want to make sure it's all looks nice and clean. Okay, so now we just have our soloists. Let's start with the cello because that's the most on the grid. These are going to be quarter note triplets. There we go, nice and easy. Okay, so now the rest is our soloists. that have all their grace notes and things, so we just gotta pay attention and do our best, I suppose. I could activate and actually listen to each line individually, but I don't necessarily think I need to do that. I'm just going to kind of interpret what our subdivision is going to be here. Are those 30-second notes? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. These are 30-second notes as well. Let's just do like a hanging 8th note here. I guess a hanging 16th. No, let's make it a hanging 8th note. This is probably going to be on the grid. Yeah. Let's do the 8th note here. There we go. Those are triplets there. Let's make this another hanging 8th note. It's fine. We don't want this to exit. I guess that's fine, probably. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Okay, clarinet. Kind of off grid here, little clarinets. Okay, so that sounds to me like it should be 2, 3. I mean, that does move it quite a bit, though. Let me activate clarinet 1 here. None of these samples are loaded up, so it'll take a bit, but hopefully just loading up the solo sample by itself, it shouldn't give us too many issues. Yeah. Take your time. Let's put this on the grid here, and then I might leave this one at the syncopated rhythm that it's currently at. Yeah, why not? I think it's supposed to be like this, honestly. Okay. Now here, I don't know if these, I think this is intended to be a grace note rather than a 30-second note. But we can put it as a 30-second note, and then in the notation software we can come in and edit that around if we need to. Because in the actual recording, it's just a little grace note thing. Right, so same thing with right here. It's really just a grace note moment rather than a 30-second note, but we can kind of fix that as we go along. Let's make sure these are all cut short. And again, you know, a lot of these decisions, I suppose, that I made with note lengths and with how strict to the grid it is a lot of it had to do with the performance of the samples, right? Because sometimes there's sample delay. Like for right here, this moment here, forget exactly where that moves. So I want to listen to this section right here. So it moves in relation to our violin notes here. Wait, am I at the wrong spot? I think I am. No, I'm not. Am I crazy? I am crazy. It's in at the end of 15. I was looking at the wrong spot. It's right here. So it moves in tandem with the violin. She's playing, so it should kind of be like on this 30-second note. Well, it should kind of be more of a... Should kind of be like going to the downbeat, I think. You know, the problem with this is that essentially, because this is kind of so soloist heavy, the idea was that if this were ever to see the light of a real orchestra, is that the soloists would be very free in their timing, because it's the duet between the clarinet and the violin, and they're just on top of this bass pedal, right? So it's all about the soloists here. So they can be very free. And when I recorded this in, you know, I played it freehand on the piano, kind of, I probably without the click if I had to assume. So I think I'll just put it, I'll actually leave it at the 30-second note here, the closest subdivision to what was actually recorded in. And obviously, if it looks weird on the notation, we can go back and fix that. This is a little bit of a jumbled mess here. Yeah, I remember this. This was like this is supposed to be just, you know, grace notes, right? Well, maybe we can. I don't know. This one's gonna be interesting. When we put it into the notation, particularly because of all these different shapes and very, very minuscule subdivisions, right? 30-second notes. I just quantized this to the 64th note. So we'll see how this shows itself in the notation, but that's an issue for a little bit later in the stream. We just listen to the end of the clarinet here. This is supposed to kind of go all the way into it. All right, the clarinet, it's serviceable, I suppose. It's close enough. Let's deactivate you because I don't need you anymore. All right, violin has a lot of stuff going on with it as well. A lot of grace notes and weird unsquared starts, if you will, right? Not completely on the grid. Little 30-second note figures. Shorten everything up. Like what's going on here? I think if I were to have to guess, this should actually be pushed to right here. Right, what am I trying to say? There's no definitive tempo or beat going on inside of here. It's very, very free. So with that in mind, I'll just try and square it to the grid, but obviously it's not going to be, it'll be more of an ad lib, I suppose. And this will probably end up presenting itself very weird in notation. Let's go to this, the downbeat here. Look at this, 8th note triplets. That's different. Oh, nope. 16th note. Oh, I just put the wrong. Nope. 16th note triplets. Let's do that. I am very curious how this is going to show itself on the notation when we get there, because like we're moving at random 30-second note groupings in seemingly random places. It was all very intentional, I promise. I wrote it myself, after all. Oh, look at this. Quarter note triplets. Never mind. 8th note triplets. But I'm zoomed in a good bit. More 8th note triplets. More random 30-second note shifts. This I know for a fact was a sample delay thing, so this is supposed to be on the downbeat. Okay, you don't need to be that dramatic. So, that's kind of, sort of, the cleaned up violin. And when we get it into notation, we can shift that around as needed. And we most likely will need to. I think the last one is the solo viola, so we're actually almost ready for Dorico. We'll get there in just a minute. Again, this is another space where it's, if I had to guess, probably supposed to be on the upbeat of beat 4 there. Let's go on the downbeat, I think. Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. So, again, just to reiterate, what I'm doing is just going through and quantizing everything to the grid, and then chopping the ends of each note so there are no overlaps. Because when I export it to a MIDI file, ooh, I'm not sure when this is supposed to move, actually. When I export it to a MIDI file, if it's not on the grid and there are overlapping notes and everything, it's going to cause a whole heck of a lot of issues when I import the MIDI into Dorico. So that's why I go through here, quantize everything. Take out all the overlapping notes, make it look nice. If I had to guess, it's supposed to be here. It's a repeated thing. I bet this goes on the downbeat as well. It's just a sample delay thing because it's the last note. Okay. I think that's everything kind of sort of cleaned up. I do just want to kind of check the soloists themselves and just kind of like put them against each other because the way I wrote this is that a lot of the soloists will move in kind of like a call and response sort of thing with each other. So they move kind of in a, I don't know, parallel position to each other, if you will. And even like offset from each other. Stop there, stop there, stop there. What is this? This clarinet should be on the downbeat. See, that's why I wanted to check these things. Let me back up just a little bit more. Those sound like they should move together. Yeah. Let's move these together. Those also need to move together. Or 25. Right here. If you heard that those grace notes in the viola, I think these should go to the downbeat with the oboe. Here, 30, 31. Yeah, these need to move together. Oops. So let's do that. There we go. $32. So, very nice, very nice. I think that will all work. So, now comes the technical side of things where we come in here and we are going to file, export all MIDI tracks as a MIDI file. We see this here. Save. Okay. Now, bear with me. We're going to close out. I should probably keep Logic open now that I think about it. That's okay. We need to switch over here anyways. I'm going to open up Dorico. File new. Do we see this? Is OBS following? No, OBS, you're not following. Of course you're not. Why would I expect you to? There you go. Thank you. Okay. We got Dorico here. We're going to import MIDI, find our MIDI file, open it up, and we got a whole host of what the heck is going on here. So, let's see if we want to make sense of all of this. Can we see this on OBS? Yes, we can. To make sense of all this, we got our Coranglay. That's fine. We got Clarinet 1. That's fine. We got a whole ton of bass drum individual things because I think it's counting every region as a separate thing. So I don't know why it's set it as a bass guitar. Can I change this instrument from a bass? Why are we at bass guitar? We should just be a bass drum. Change you to a bass drum. And now I'm going to come over. Oh, hello. I select them all. Should put them into one dude. Solo violin, solo viola. We got two cello lines. We got a solo cello and the cello longs. I'm gonna go ahead and leave them on separate staves. Um, we might put them on the same stave um, as we kind of work through this later. But we'll do this. So let's put it on flow one. Okay, so we got all our stuff. Hopefully it all tracks in okay. How are we looking? Got a whole lot of oh boy, I just checked the Arkansas Texas score. I'm glad I turned it off cuz what the heck? Anyways, on to happier thoughts. Okay, so we got our cor anglais here. Doesn't come in until wherever down the line. We're starting with our violin and our clarinet. And see, this is what I was afraid of. Like, this kind of subdivision is just, it's kind of not, um, it doesn't really work, right? If you put this in front of a live musician, like they could play it, obviously, but and also what's going on here? This is not how. Okay, lots of cleanup we need to do. Oh, okay, I see. Lots and lots of cleanup we need to do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, we have Logic Pro. I opened up Logic again because I shouldn't have closed it. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna put Dorico over here. Do we see Logic on OBS? We do. So we should be able to see both of these. All right, so now it's just a matter of going through and making sure that all the notation then matches with the MIDI. I'm going to start in the basses again because it's simple and I can already see that for whatever reason it deleted the lower split. Do not know why. So we're going to go in through here and we're going to have to add, what is it? Is it Shift Q? No. Forget how to add on an extra voice, the lower voice. We're at G, so okay, never mind. Pop. And then we got this split transferred in fine, okay. Oops. We got a G here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this shape a 6-bar double whole note? I don't know, but it looks like it's doing what I'm expecting it to do. That's fine. So I'm just going through here and adding in these notes that it, for whatever reason, did not want to transfer in. And we got B flat for 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. And then we got G for 4 bars. Divisi G for 4 bars, except you wanted to add 6 bars, so... Oh, Lord, what am I doing? Get over there. Split this tie. Delete this note. Okay, thank you. Bases. You can take a rest now. I'm sure you're so excited for all your long notes. Let's jump up to the bass drums as well. Just to make sure that everything transferred in from the bass drums. Okay. We're gonna add in a 3-stroke single note tremolo because that indicates that it's a roll. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, measure 11 or measure 10. We got another roll. And then 8th notes, and that's pretty much going to be the story of the bass drum here. Beat 3, 8th notes, measure 18, roll into 8th notes, 22, roll into 8th notes. So we're looking good in the bass drum world. Of course, dynamics and everything is gonna come later. Right now, I just want to make sure all the notes are in and it looks fine. Let's jump to our celli as well because the cellos, whatever, also have pretty simple music. And I just want to be sure that, like the double basses, it actually transferred in all the notes and not just some of them. I'm going to split. I guess I could leave that tie, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. That looks fine. Okay, cello solo. If I do this, I don't want to mess up because I had some issues with this. On the first movement. I'm gonna take these notes and put them down here. These notes, put them down. Add this tie back in. No. Add the tie back in. Tie. Tie maybe. Don't tie. We're just not gonna tie. We're just not gonna do. Oh, now you're gonna tie. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Got it done. That's fine. And I'm gonna take these notes and push them down onto the solo line. Hopefully, I had some trouble, and this is just a quirk of Dorico. I think it's a bug that they need to fix or whatever. But I had some trouble adding these solo lines and making sure they were playing the right notes. In the first movement. I got a print. I know it doesn't look great. Excuse me. Doesn't look fantastic. Oh, sorry, I can't really see it right now. But if we look down here, the glial tree, which is the section down there, and then the solo up top. So I should be good to come over here and delete this player because I took out all their music. Okay, I think that works. I think that looks good. We'll do some extra cleaning up with, the engraving and making sure slurs and everything are all good a little bit later. Right now, as I said, just want to make sure that I get all the notes onto the page where they're supposed to be. Now comes the interesting part of getting all the soloists squared away. So let's start with the clarinet. The question is, do I want the soloists to have this kind of granular level of subdivision in their notes? Or do I just shift it to be essentially on the big beats and the grid and everything? We listen to this clarinet here at the beginning. Bass drum roll. This is the violin down here. I think I want this to be on the half note. So like that. There's a slight delay in the music. Right, if there's a very slight hesitation in the clarinet. But I think if you were to present this to a live player and tell them to, add in rubato or whatever at their own discretion, you could get the same effect out of a live player. Right, there's a slight hesitation on this leap, which is fine. So let's go back and keep going. This did come in as a grace note, which is fine. Just want to see if I want to change any values here. Because right now this obviously looks a little squirrely. I kind of like this because compared to the violin, it is like offset by an eighth note, which is intentional, right? It doesn't put the soloists directly aligned with each other, so it gives us that very um, kind of free floating feel where you have two separate players who um, are not supposed to be playing with any sort of click, right? They're just kind of vibing off each other. So a little bit of this kind of offset nature, I think, is good. So I might actually leave the notation written like this as it is. What I might do is cut this and delete this note and put in a breath mark after it. Because clarinet has to breathe somewhere. And I may have neglected to put in breath spots in the actual MIDI, but that's fine. They would find places to breathe anyways because they have a lot of long notes, so it wouldn't be an issue. I do want to change these grace notes into eighth note grace notes. I just think they look better that way. Less lines going on. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, now what in the heck happened here? This is absolutely not the way it was written. So I don't know why it transferred in like that. But no matter, no matter. We just gotta fix it. So what I might actually do is just delete these notes, because I know if I try to like actually shift around things, it would cause issues. So we're gonna come to our 30-second notes. We're gonna play in. Oh my lord, why are you so loud? Oh, I think it's grabbing from. Oh, it's grabbing from the piano. Sorry, I was on the wrong thing. So that's how it should look. These are 30-second notes. And I know for a fact they're 30-second notes because I wrote them that way. It was on purpose. Same thing with this E flat here. Delete them. Delete whatever triplet you're trying to impose on me. Put in my 30-second notes there. Okay, now here we get kind of this weird 16th note change, division, whatever. I think I probably just put this on the grid. Just do that. What's going on here? Where's this B flat coming from? Why is it? Oh, I think I accidentally cut the tie there. Yeah, that's fine. This sort of subdivision I think is fine. Um, it looks clean enough. 14 long note, quarter note. Come down here to 15. Let's listen to this part. It's 14. I think I want this to be on the downbeat. I think that probably makes more sense and follows with the audio a little closer. Because, you know, again, a lot of this stuff was done because of the specific sample delay that's relative to. Oh, I didn't even realize my camera is right here. We can see things, right? I'm not covering up anything. Working with a clarinet. Yeah, whatever. I didn't think about my camera position covering up anything. Oh, what the heck happened here? So, this is a grace note. C is supposed to be a grace note. Forget how what's the hotkey to. C is supposed to be a grace note, and it's supposed to come before the B flat. Okay, just delete the note. It's fine. I don't necessarily think this is correct. You, sir. Yeah, that's fine on beat 4. Let's turn this 16th note. This I think should be a 32nd note with that 32nd note rest before it. Unless no, that just looks too messy. Let's leave it like that. I think that's a lot cleaner. Did it get really dark in here? Where'd the sun go? Did I just neglect to shorten this note? I guess I did. Having this move at an offbeat is fine. Long. Okay, so our clarinet's good. Let's jump up and look at our violin. Gonna be a lot of the same. Where did we go, violin? A lot of the same stuff going on here. To make it kind of match with the clarinet, I'm gonna just change this into a quarter note. Gotta delete these notes because it decided to input something crazy. Put in my 32nd notes. No. Yeah, B4 is fine. Having these be grace notes is fine and not 32nd notes. I think the MIDI, oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. The MIDI transfer into Dorico, there's a setting where you can tell it at what low value note you want to turn into grace notes. And I think the lowest value is 32nd notes that I have it set to. So all the 32nd notes get switched over into grace notes, or they get kind of collapsed into this sort of monstrosity here. So that's just my mistake. I probably should have thought about that beforehand, but here we are. Shut up, Siri. No one's talking to you. Add in my 32nd notes. One whole note. This is incorrect. These should be 16th note triplets. So I'm going to change this into that, and then I'm going to tie it, yeah, to an 8th note. And then I'm going to go to my 16th notes, add in a little triplet figure, and then I'm going to go as such. And then if we come back down here, we can delete these grace notes. We don't need those anymore. Rest on beat 4. This is fine. I'm not upset that it defaulted these to grace notes. Everything on the grid here Eighth. Bum 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 bum. Yes, yes, thank you. Good job, violin. You were pretty good. I'll go ahead and save this before anything catastrophic happens. Okay, so that's violin, that's clarinet. The only thing left is cor anglais and viola. Let's go find our cor anglais here. Now, this is a mess. 26, beat 3. That is correct. These should be 30-second notes. Like that. And then this should be right here. And this should be right here. Tied. Oops. Should be nope. Should be tied to a 30-second note. Not there. Here. Like that. So maybe not the best way of presenting it. Maybe grace notes would be better. But I like the variability. Makes me happy. These 3 notes can get axed. What happened? Where did we go? Oh, I see. 27. This E flat, because these should be 30-second notes. Stop shifting around on me. Good grief. Yeah, into 28. Rest. Delete these notes because they're wrong. Put my 30-second notes back in. Let's turn you into a grace note. Except you should be right there. Um, 34. I don't know why you didn't interpret this as an 8th note with an 8th note rest. There you go. Okay, cor anglais, good job. All right, last but not least, our viola. This will be the last thing we do on stream. We'll get this cleaned up and then call it good. Where's our viola at? Down here. So again, same thing. These notes need to go into not there. Right there. into 24. Burr, burr, burr. These can be grace notes, that's fine. What notes are these? There we go. Oh my goodness, same story, different measure. Now, these, just like before, should be 16th note triplets. Yeah. Like that. And this should tie into this 8th note here. Grace notes. I might even put these grace notes before the bar. I don't know. I'm not sure which one would look better, right? Because I can put them grace note before bar line. I could do that. I don't know if that looks better than after the bar line. I need to consult with a score or something, see how someone much smarter than me did it. There we go. So that's all the MIDI. Let's listen to it one more time just with the notation in and see if everything looks how it sounds. We'll go ahead, we'll be sure to fix a lot of the spacing issues and, of course, dynamics and slurs, ties, all that stuff. But let's go ahead and listen to it. Just with what we have already. Yeah. All right. So that was relatively painless, I think. I think that'll work good, and there's still obviously a lot of things to go in and kind of clean up and make sure everything looks good. But that's generally what it's going to end up looking like. Um, so we're going to end the stream here because I think we got a good amount of stuff done. So if you're new, be sure to subscribe and come back for future live streams, and also keep an eye out for this note video that should be coming early next month. I don't know, whenever I find the time and sit down and actually create the video. It does take a lot of time. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Check out this Beacons link here. It's also in the description of the video. You can find all my streaming services like Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Bandcamp, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that stuff if you're at all interested. And we are going to be back, I guess, on Monday. And on Monday, we're going to go and we're going to return to the piece that we have been working on for the past 2 weeks or so, and hopefully finish that one up. So that will be coming on Monday. This note for note video will be coming probably beginning of December. So yeah, lots of things happening. And we're going to end the year out strong. So be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys